In this video here, we are going to be going over another math knowledge practice example question that you might see on the ASVAB. This question happens to come from asvabpracticetest.com, and a link to that will be in the description below. So this question asks, if 3.2 plus 3.3 plus 3.5 times w equals w, then what is the value of w? So as always, you get the most benefit when you actually try these questions out on your own. So go ahead, press pause, try and work this one out, and then come back here and see if you got the right answer. Alright, so hopefully you attempted that one on your own here. So here's how I would sort of go through this one here. First thing I would do is I would do what's inside this parentheses here. Well, I guess first I should say, hey, this is just an algebra problem, and all we need to do is solve for w. So in order to do that, we want to get w on one side by itself. Alright, so in order to do that, we need to follow PEMDAS, add up all these parentheses here, and 3.2 plus 3.3 plus 3.5 is going to equal 10. So now we can rewrite this as 10w equals w. Alright, now again, let's try and get w all by itself here. So I have a 10w on this side. I'm going to divide by w over here. That means I need to divide by a w over here. Those w's will cancel out. So now I have 10 equals a w over w. And well, w over w, any number over that same number is going to be 1. So this will be 10 equals 1. Well, wait a minute now. And at this point, you might have gotten here and you might have gotten stuck, and now you're probably asking yourself, how in the world can I solve this, because this just really doesn't make any sense. And this now comes to a great opportunity to sort of realize and remember that on the ASVAB, you are given 4 different possible answers here. You know it is either going to be A or B or C or D. It has to be one of those. Alright, so really what we could do then is kind of just start plugging it in. Alright, so we earlier had sort of this equation here. Let's just try and solve it for this then. Let's take one of these answers and plug it in, see if any of them make sense. Alright, so if I substitute 10 in for w, this would say 10 equals 10, or I'm sorry, 10 times 10 equals 10. Well, 10 times 10 is 100. Does that equal 10? No, that doesn't equal 10. Alright, so let's try it for the next one then. Let's try it for 1. Alright, 10 times 1 equals 1. Is that true? Well, this gets us to 10 equals 1. No, that's what we had before, so it can't be 1. Alright, let's try it for 1/10 here. Alright, 10 times 1/10 equals 1/10. Let's just try and like conceptually think about this. Do you think 10 times 1/10 is going to give you 1/10? No, there's no way, right? So let's try this one now, 0, where we say 10 times 0 equals 0. Well, 10 times 0 is 0, and yes, that does equal 0. So that has to be the right answer. Alright, so sometimes when you try and do things algebraically and things don't really make sense, or they don't work out exactly the way that you want them to, it's always good to sort of just remember, alright, I'm given 4 possible answers. It has to be one of them. So kind of just start playing around, plugging in the different answers into your equation, see if they make sense. Another tip for these types of tests is to try and eliminate as many problems as you can, or many answers as you can, because right off the bat, we should see that, again, we're given 4 possible answers. So even if you guess, you are given a 1 in 4 chance, or a 25% chance of guessing it right. If you can eliminate, like, let's say 2 of the answers, like those 2 for sure don't make any sense, right? Well, now it's a guess between only 2 answers. You've increased your odds to now 50% chance. It's now just a 50-50 guess. So always try and remember those little tips and tricks as you're taking this ASVAB. Try to eliminate as many problems or as many answers as possible, and then try of the remaining answers, try and plug those back in and just see if it makes sense, see if that could be a possible answer or not. So I hope that video has helped you. If it does, please consider subscribing. Please smash that like button. It really helps grow this channel so I can provide more awesome content to make sure that you are as prepared as you need to be for your ASVAB. Thanks, and I'll see you again next time.